Allied Services Friday Night Rivals, presented by Tom Hesser Dealerships, is on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome inside Mountaineers Stadium. We're in the back mountain of Luzerne County on a windy, cold night. Tonight, it's a Wyoming Valley Conference Division I showdown as Wyoming Valley West takes on our number 6 team, Dallas. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Hyde, and welcome to week number 5 already of high school football here on MyTV WQMY. Joining me, as he always does, in the booth tonight, former Tunkhannock area coach John Seachak. Amanda Cool is back, and she'll be on the sidelines. And Coach, as I said, we're in week number 5. We're to the halfway point. We're kind of separating the good from the bad.
The cream is rising to the top, and Dallas right now is really starting to bubble and do good things offensively, defensively, and their special teams is an area of improvement that Coach Manello is looking for.
Let's talk about the Spartans. They haven't won a game this year. A little bit disappointing. We expected a little bit more from them. They lost their starting quarterback before the season even started. So our Allied Services Spotlight player, Isaiah Cobb, really needs to have a big night if they want to win.
Well, last year, Isaiah Cobb broke into the Wyoming Valley Conference. He was just running all over everybody. He came back this year a little bit trimmer. He's 6'2", 230 pounds. He only has 2 touchdowns this year and less than 200 yards. Teams are keying on him major league.
Dallas, meanwhile, undefeated. They have a balanced offense, averaging almost 30 points per game. And one of the reasons why is that offensive line and the running of our other Allied Services Spotlight player, Parker Balesta.
Parker Balesta, Mr. Touchdown. He's leading Lackawanna and Wyoming Valley Conferences with touchdowns with 12 this year. He's got almost 900 yards. He's the guy that they feed the rock to every game, and that's why they've been so successful on the ground.
We watched film again, and we talked to some coaches. So first, keys to the game for the Spartans.
Spartans are going to try to control the line of scrimmage, something that Coach Baranski said they have not done very well this year. And the other part is they just want to cut down on their mistakes. Dallas, on the other hand, Coach Manello, he was really disappointed with his special teams, his kickoff coverage especially, and on defense he wants to make sure that they control the gaps to allow their linebackers to make the plays.
As I mentioned, windy, blustery, and cold. Could be a ground attack tonight for both teams. It's Wyoming Valley West and number 6 Dallas next.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals, presented by Tom Hesser Dealerships on MyTV WQMY.
Here come the Mountaineers out looking to stay undefeated on the season, our 6th ranked team in our FNR Top 10 Countdown. We are back on a beautiful night for high school football. A little chill in the air, but that's okay. It's football weather. Week number 5 getting set to start. Third member of our crew is Amanda Cool, and she's staying warm down on the sidelines. And Amanda, these two teams are no strangers to one another.
That's right, Bob. These teams have met 31 times, with Wyoming Valley West winning 17 of them. However, Dallas has won the past 5 meetings, with Dallas winning last year 28-27. Coach Baranski and the Spartans are going to have their work cut out for them. They've lost 10 in a row dating back to last year. In fact, their last win came exactly 1 year ago against Tunkhannock. And as you said, Dallas is looking to stay undefeated.
Well, she brings up a good point. Last year's game was very good. Isaiah Cobb went off in that game. Boy, they could use that tonight if you're a Spartan fan.
But they really need Isaiah Cobb to really start doing what he did last year, having that success. But Coach Baranski said the problem is his offensive line has not been able to sustain their blocks, and that's going to be a really difficult task tonight with this Dallas defense.
And you talked to Coach Baranski before the game. I mean, they lost a couple captains even before the season even started in that first game. That's tough. Depth is a big thing in high school football.
It really is. If you look at this sideline shot right now, look at the Dallas sideline. They go from 30 to 30, and the Wyoming Valley West kids are 40 to 40. So they don't have the depth that they need for such a large school.
There you see Dylan Geske back to receive the opening kick from John Cardona, the senior. Dallas won the toss. They want the ball, and why not when your offense is averaging almost 40 points per game. Fans have their winter coats on, some gloves, hats, but we are ready for high school football here on MyTV WQMY. We're underway in the back mountain. Geske from about his 9. sheds one tackle up to the 32, and that's where we'll see that Dallas offense. Led this year by sophomore Brady Zapaticki, 562 yards on the season, 6 touchdowns, and a couple interceptions.
Well, I'll tell you, coming in as a sophomore and to run this offense, Coach Manello really is trying to emphasize that passing game. He's trying to keep it well balanced, and that's a really good statistic for the Mountaineers. 6 touchdowns to 1 interception.
They will probably run the ball tonight. We'll get to the offensive line shortly, but Coach, not a huge offensive line, but efficient.
Yes, that's a great adjective to use for them.
Right to Balesta, up for about 4. This is what we're going to see a lot of tonight, is number 2 running the ball.
This is just Dallas football in its best. They had the wing back come across and lead block up inside for Balesta, who we know is their star guy. Parker Balesta, great family football right there.
He had 305 yards this year against Williamsport, 251 the opening game with Abington Heights. He's up to the line to gain, about a yard short of the first down. Let's check out the offense now for the Mountaineers. There's Balesta. Geske will get some carries tonight with Zapaticki. The receivers, when they're in there, when they get thrown the ball, they're actually very good. And then up front, we talked about them. Very experienced offensive line, just one junior up there, and that's left guard Dan Zabluski. So 3rd and short now coming for Dallas. Hard running. He's going to gain about 3, and that will be a Perfect Storm Renovations first down for Dallas.
You'll see right here, again, there's that slot motion coming across. It's a counter play. He took Balesta takes a jab step to his right, cuts back to his left. Again, what we're seeing from Dallas right now isn't a typical Dallas Mountaineer formation. They're in the spread formation. Usually they've been in the eye.
Play action. Zapaticki rolls out. Finds Geske for a short gain. And I think if you're going to pass the ball tonight, it's going to be those short passes. The wind looks like it's coming left to right, maybe almost across the field, and it's got to be gusting near 25 miles per hour.
I would say easily. Again, they go with a nice little play action bootleg pass. The safe pass, Bob, and you just mentioned it, that they're going to have to do the short passes. Long passes is going to be really difficult tonight with that wind.
Big hole for Balesta, but it's closed quickly right at midfield. 3rd down upcoming for Dallas. Let's talk about the Spartans defense. You know, as you expect, 0-4 coming in. They're giving up almost 330 yards per game, 28 total points per game. But that's what you kind of expect. But so far, they're playing tough here.
They are, and again, they're going to try to establish that defensive line of scrimmage. They want to push it over, and they just got caught, again, anticipating.
Well, I like the aggressiveness, though. Isaiah Cobb trying to be aggressive, knowing they're probably going to run the ball. And you're going to see probably a lot of run blitzes tonight. I mean, there's the ref. Earl Harris saw him.
Defense! Down!
There you see the Wyoming Valley Conference officials tonight under the direction of Earl Harris. So that is a Perfect Storm Renovations first down on the penalty.
And again, Bob, you said about the blitz. We know Parker Balesta is going to be running the ball, so that's a smart defensive move.
Quick slant to Farrell, in and out of his hands. We saw the nice pass, though, from Zapaticki.
Right here, I love the slant play because it's one of the hardest passes to defend in all of football, especially if they're playing the zone, which is what they're doing. The zone is where the defensive backs are 3 to 5 yards off of the receiver. They're not mugged up on them man to man.
It's very unusual to see a sophomore starting for Rich Manello. So Brady must be very good.
And he must be a great student, but more importantly, I know Coach Manello is a big proponent of the weight room.
There's Balesta. He breaks through, and he's going to go in for a Dallas touchdown. It's a 45-yard score, and Dallas is on the board quickly.
There it is again, just the same play that they've been running with the slot motion coming and kicking out, and Parker Balesta just blows that up in there. But, Bob, you said about how efficient that offensive line is. If you look across the board, they only average 224 pounds. There's no 6'5"ers out there. They're all average size, but they're extremely strong young men that have spent their time in the weight room.
Jopiak's kick is up and good, and the Mountaineers take the lead. 8:56 remaining in the first. We'll be right back. Dallas on the board, a 6-play drive, 68 yards, 58 of those on the ground, coming from Parker Balesta. Ran it in from 45. Coach, and there's the lead. 7-0 here, just in the first quarter. Jopiak, the kick into the wind, takes a big roll. Picked up by Suda, it looked like. And now let's check out the quarterback. Wasn't supposed to be the starter coach, but Lucas Zengsevich puts up decent numbers right now, but does have 7 interceptions.
Again, when you look at that, it's misleading. They've been really trying to run Isaiah Cobb, but teams have been stuffing them, putting them in that long, 3rd and long situations. And again, they're not really a pass type offense. It's more of a run and grind. But now as we look, Coach Baranski said they're going to be doing a lot of spread.
Bring Cobb back into the single back. Number 6, changes number, 24 last year. There is Cobb, and not much running room there as expected, a yard gain.
Coach Baranski was worried about the offensive line sustaining blocks, and you'll see number 58 and 56 just come right in there. And again, nobody blocked them. That's been part of the problem they've had all year trying to establish an offensive rhythm.
Oh, just 2 different lines. We're seeing what Parker Balesta did with his line. Cobb's looking for that from his offensive line. It's as simple as game, as Rich Manello says. Cobb puts his head down. Now, think about Cobb this year. He would have weighed about 240, 245 last year. Almost lost 20 pounds in the offseason. Wanted to get more speed, so do we see that?
Well, he hasn't had a chance to break it out.
Yeah.
That's the problem. If you saw in that last play, they ran the ISO play, the fullbacks leading up inside, and he just puts his head down, and he's just a bull when he runs.
There you saw Jack Baranski's 4th season with the Spartans team, 8-22 overall. Never beaten Dallas. Be a chance here tonight for an upset. So 3rd and long, facing the Spartans, averaging 12 points per game coming in. Look to the air, looking left. Good catch, right at the line of scrimmage, and the Spartans will be forced to punt.
Again, with these plays, the way the wind is blowing out there, I understand the short game, and that was right at the line of scrimmage, so that's a frustrating call.
Goes down as a completion, but you really needed 5 for the first down, and that's the object of the game.
Yards after the catch are always a big part of it for receivers, but the way defense, especially Dallas plays, they swarm to the ball.
Ingram trying to punt it, pulls it down instead, couldn't get it away, loses 4 yards, and Dallas will take over right there at the Spartan 31-yard line.
Snap just came back a little bit. Obviously, it was too short, bounced in his hands, luckily, and he was able to get back almost to the line of scrimmage there.
Those are the mistakes an 0-4 team makes, and that's why they're winless so far. So a mistake there gives Dallas excellent field position, already up 7-0.
And when you're 4-0, you're chomping right now to get at it, especially with a momentum play. When you stop them, and then special teams guffaw right there. Again, Dallas right now, Coach Mel will keep these kids right on an even keel. And again, he won't be happy until it says 0-0-0 at the end of the 4th quarter.
Well, got the play in late, really ran onto the field. They will get it away. But I think we're having illegal motion. So right from the start, that didn't look good. Might have been some movement.
We got a false start on the offense. Repeat first down.
Coach Manello calls the plays, right?
Yes, he does.
So trying to figure out what to do.
Well, personnel formation,
Yeah.
I think, again, we noticed that there's a lot of the kids, some of their starters are not in there, so they are younger kids. He wants to make sure that the formation's sound.
They're going to go to the air and actually pull it down. A quarterback keeper. Looked like the design play. Back to the original line of scrimmage goes Zapatiki. There is Rich Manello. 8th season here already.
I love how Zapatiki right there checked off two. He looked to his left once, wide, and then came back inside and then took off. And the way they blocked that, it was almost like a draw play. It was a quarterback draw.
Balesta outside, has room. Add another one for Parker Balesta. Goes in, this time from 32 out.
Folks, when we get the replay of that after the extra point, you're going to see a double team that, oh, you guys are awesome in the truck. Look at it. Number 4 and 56 just mugged this guy from the first level to the second level to spark Parker Balesta for his second touchdown of the evening.
He has 5 carries, coach, for 90 yards already, and it's only less than 10 minutes, less than 6 minutes into this game. Chobiak, the senior, in. Kick is up, and it is good. So that started with a bad snap on the Spartans' punt. Dallas makes them pay. They go 2 plays, about 31 yards overall.
There you go. This, again, I love our crew. They give me everything that we have. Look at Parker Balesta. Great ball technique, ball in the right arm towards that sideline. Great strides. And again, he's looking right back now, thanking his offensive lineman and that double team block.
Dallas came in with a win over West Granton last week, 42-13, but Coach Manello wasn't really happy about that. And why? What in that game he didn't like?
Special teams.
Yep.
And this is where he's going to be holding his breath, saying, all right, we talked about this, we practice it, and I know he's a proponent. We started every practice at Kings with special teams. That's how important it was to him. So when we have a breakdown on there, or in this case, the Mountaineers aren't doing what they're supposed to be efficient, he will address it.
Well, what they did is they gave up an 85-yard touchdown return after a touchdown, and he wasn't happy about that.
No, because the momentum. I mean,
Yeah.
we're dealing with high school kids, and momentum is a huge, huge factor.
Suda from his 10, still on his feet, and he'll pop out near the 28-yard line. Now here are the Tom Hesser starters for Valley West, and a Savage back there. You see the receiver Suda, who just had the ball, is a good one in there. And then up front, just one senior, that's McLaughlin. He's our scholar athlete. We'll see him later. But for the most part, a young offensive line.
And they're big, too. They're averaging 246 pounds across the board, and they have that size. 6'2", 227, 6'2", 308, junior, sophomore, junior, another junior, 290. So the future's bright. They just have to endure the storm and trust the process, as a lot of coaches will say.
Another flag comes in. This might be illegal, too many men on the field.
Dead ball. Legal substitution. White.
So this will back up the Spartans on their second possession. On the flip side, on the flip side, Dallas's biggest guy on their defensive line is Kleintop at 243.
So you would think that the size difference would be in Valley West's favor, but the way that this defensive line stays low, they play angles, they're just going to be buzzing to the ball, and that's a good example of how Coach Manello
couple yards on that one. Let's take a look at the Tom Hesser defense up front. Farrell's up front, and then the three linebackers very good. Bolesta, Geske, and then the defense in the back. Malarkey, a sophomore, and Turpak, a junior on the outside. Zanisevich looking, chased, has a man open. It is a perfect storm first down. He connects with Makarevich, and Makarevich goes up about 14 yards and moved the chains.
What was really impressive about this with Zanisevich is the throw he makes. He's under pressure. He's getting flushed out of the pocket. He throws up over a defender. Perfect strike in there to keep the Spartans now drive alive.
Again, they have shown glimpses when you watch them on film of being a good team, but the mistakes you saw on the fourth down, those have haunted them this year.
The mistakes really have cost them a lot of their problems this year. And Coach Manello is very worried. Again, he never takes any opponent lightly.
QB keeper up for a couple. 41 yards so far for Zanisevich this year, and a couple touchdowns on the ground.
You'll see the defensive linemen are in there. There's two linebackers coming up. Hand fighting there by number 85. Gets off the block, wraps up, and again, that's what I like to see. Number 78, defensive tackle, being involved with the sideline tackle.
So we're seeing a couple of completed passes from both teams. A little surprising with the wind. Cobb bounces out. Nice cutback, gets to midfield. Third down now, forthcoming.
That play should look familiar. That's what Dallas's bread and butter is. Slot motion, bring them up inside, and Cobb does a wonderful job. Not seeing it, cuts it back in there for a really, really tough 2 yards.
Personnel change now for Valley West. Down 14-0. They like to get a first down, keep this drive alive. Keep that Dallas offense really off the field. Timeout call for the Spartans. One of these coaches didn't like the setup there. And gonna pull them over, give them a talk. 3:24 left in this first quarter.
Well, it was interesting. Isaiah Cobb, at the end of that play, when they started to bring different personnel in, he was actually counting up his players. And I like how the coach called the timeout. Let's make sure we get this right. We got 3rd and 5. Let's keep this drive alive.
Inside the huddle there. With Rich Manello.
And Coach Austin is up in the booth. He's the defensive coordinator for the Mountaineers. Has done a wonderful job, and he's you know, in Coach Manello's earpiece right now, telling them what the defense is set up and what they should be looking out for.
So if you're Valley West, how important is this first down? I mean, get
Huge.
something going.
They already have one. They just have to keep building on that. Every time they get a first down, it keeps their offense out there, keeps their defense fresh.
Trying to see what the flags, if it's how windy it is. Couple different handoffs. And he's going to be about 2 yards short on the Dallas side of the field. Well, they tried a little, what was that, like a counter play?
Yes. I almost was wondering if they went with the double reverse on that, because it looked like a quarterback. He dropped back for the draw, handed off. So
it was Riggs who carried it.
Yep, it is. It's that double reverse. It was a jet sweep, and then the sweep guy handed it off to the slot back that really didn't go in motion. He was just waiting for it.
Was Riggs supposed to come around all the way around? He saw a hole maybe and took it. Is that what it was? Yeah, there's the wind, not too much. So on 4th down, why not? You're 0-4. Go for it. Spartan's going to go for it. See if they get some movement. And they have to call a timeout again. on the offensive side. That's the second one now for the Spartans here in just the first quarter.
Well, we saw they were trying to do a shift. We saw that previously in their first series where Isaiah Cobb lines up at the slot, goes back to his halfback position.
Well, the Spartans opened the year at North Pocono, lost that 20-13, so a close game there. They played Scranton very tough, just lost 21-14. Setback with Pittston area, they got shut out, and then last week versus Crestwood at home, they lost 49-21.
Well, they put points up on the board against Crestwood, every team they've played. And I've said previously on our broadcast that when you play Crestwood, it's a whole different beast. It's that single wing. It's all different. It's stuff that it's unconventional for what most high schools are running, almost all high schools. So to prepare that week and to be able to score 21 points on them, that was a plus. I'm sure Coach Baranski felt okay about that. Not good because they came out with a loss.
So after the timeout, it remains 4th down. Zinsevich in the shotgun. Riggs next to him. See if he gets protection. There is a fake reverse. Riggs passes it to Cobb, and Cobb has running room. Cobb still on his feet. That's a Wyoming Valley West touchdown, 47 yards. Riggs to Cobb.
Great play call right. Well, we're looking at Parker Ballesta right now on his last touchdown, or first touchdown run.
We'll find it, don't worry.
Our guys are the best in the biz. Here you go. You'll see again. I love it. Look, one missed tackle. That's going to drive Coach Manello. 2 missed tackles. All those missed tackles is what Coach Manello really, when he beats a team and then he says, no, we didn't do well. That's what he's talking about. Great job by Isaiah Cobb. Great play call. I loved it to get them back into this game.
Cardona is up and good, and Valley West cuts the lead in half here in the first quarter, Coach, and I'm told we have another angle. Let's look at it again.
Awesome. Here it is, that fake reverse and just a little dump out. They thought it was they set that up perfectly from the play before, trying to do that double reverse, the wing motion reverse. Awesome job. Great play call to get them back into this game.
So momentum's now swung a little bit to the Valley West side. Let's see if they can pick it up on the defensive end and stop this powerful Dallas offense.
One of the things Coach Manello emphasized again was special teams. So they've got to have their A game on right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Valley West tries an onside kick. Why not? I mean, they've got some momentum going. Let's see what we get.
Would you?
And if I was 0-4.
Have you?
Yes, I have. And yes, I've been 0-4, and it's not fun.
And yes, that's why he's in the booth.
You are correct, sir.
That's why he's with me, not on the sidelines. Hey, it happens.
It does. It's truth.
So Cardona with some gloves on, trying to tee it up. And again, we talked about this wind gust tonight. So funny that one of the touchdowns comes through the air, but yet it was probably a 10-yard pass.
If that.
If that.
I think it was 6.
Off one of the Dallas players, and he recovers it. Oh, that would have been a huge break for the Spartans. As Zach Williams almost coughed it up, but here is the defense, brought to you by Tom Hesser. We talked about Valley West defense, big up front. Yeah, that was really quick. There we go. Line to the linebackers. Gamble's in there. Dupascus, 28 total tackles. Dwyer's 34. Secondary, going to have to make some tackles tonight. Riggs has 28 total tackles coming in. He just threw that touchdown pass. So here are the Mountaineers back on now, leading just 14-7. See if they go right back to that run game. And Zapatiki stripped up, somehow gets the ball to Ballesta, and Ballesta shoots through past to the 35.
We'll see. Yep, he just tripped over his offensive lineman. Oh, nice hitting right there. I like that stalk block by number 85 on number 87 of Valley West to try to freeze him on that corner to give him that room to run.
Well, that's Valley West is looking for a mistake from the Mountaineers. Almost a couple, one on the special teams. Zabatiki out to Parker. Parker has a Perfect Storm Renovations first down, past the 45. It's almost the same play Valley West were on the other side, just a little short pass. Get the yards after the catch.
And what they did was they set that up. Oh, we have a flag.
I think we have an injured player. Yeah, right in front of the Mountaineers bench, there's a Valley West player down. We can't see what number it is.
Number 8.
8. Makarevich.
That would be, hopefully, I think he's okay. He's up. That would be huge because now they're going to have to go into their depth chart for offense and defense. He's a two-way player for them, and he's done a nice job for them all year. So let's see if we can find him here. He went inside. He's coming towards you.
Oh, he made the tackle. He took one on the head.
I think he knocked the wind out of himself on that.
He gets up, walks across the field. Good to see.
Great sign. Yep.
Hopefully we see Ty back into the game. So that was after the first down. Dallas wants to keep this drive going after giving up a touchdown to Wyoming Valley West. We're just in the first quarter. We already have 21 points on the board.
We knew Dallas is a scoring machine. It's nice to see Valley West to try to go toe-to-toe with them right now.
Balesta, another big hole. Has another Perfect Storm Renovations first down. Give him 12 more. I have him unofficially at 102 yards, Coach.
Not a surprise. This was a great play. This is what I call the counter tray. You see 58 and 59 pulling. Coach calls it a duo because there's two guys coming out, duo blocking. And Parker Balesta getting on the outside is very dangerous.
Up quickly, back to Balesta. Give him 5 more.
The linebackers for Wyoming Valley West are going to be sore by the fourth quarter. They just keep hammering him in there. Isaiah Cobb, Logan Dwyer, and Jake Dubaskis are the two inside linebackers. Those guys are going to really feel it when they get a steady diet of that inside ISO, which they're, again, this is Dallas's formation out of the eye.
Dwyer shoots in. He had 2 tackles for a loss coming in. Add another one. -1 for Balesta.
Nice job by Logan Dwyer of Valley West. Reads that perfectly. He brushed off the pulling guard and just stayed his ground, gap integrity, and dropped him for a loss.
There's a second difference between the play clock and the game clock, and I think Dallas does not have to run any more plays in the first quarter.
That's why you see the Mountaineers looking at their sideline.
So the Mountaineers lead the Spartans 14-7 here in the back mountain. We'll be right back with quarter number 2.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY. Dallas leads Wyoming Valley West after the first quarter. Now let me tell you more now about Raising the Roof, our community initiative with NEPA Builders. It's coming down to the very end, so please get on and start to nominate families that are deserving of a new roof. Let's check in with Toby to learn more about Raising the Roof.
I'm Toby Gerzenda, owner of NEPA Builders. I am proud to tell you about the Raising the Roof project. Raising the Roof is a partnership of NEPA Builders, 84 Lumber, and Fox 56 to replace a roof for a local family in need. We are excited to give back to the local families who need a helping hand. And we are reaching out to you, the people of Northeast PA, to send in nominations for a family that you feel could use a helping hand right now. Go to nepabldrs.com to nominate someone today. Join us in building a better Northeast.
We are back. Dallas on the move. Just completed a 14-yard pass to the air again with the wind behind him. Zapatiki just out of the reach of his intended receiver. And that looked like Peters. Joel Peters, the senior.
It's a nice job in here. Coach Manello using the wind to his advantage. Beautiful ball, just right on his fingertips. Great way to lay out. Just when you think it's everything in the Parker Ballesta show, Coach will end up throwing the ball. Keep you honest.
Big push from the offensive line for Ballesta. Gives them 5 more. So 3rd down on the way for the Mountaineers. Bob eyed Jan Cechak, and he saw Amanda Cool. There you see that run again. And the offensive line was almost 4 yards down before he even
they
picked
really
up somebody.
Know how to keep that leverage, as Coach says, keep the pads low, take care of business at the first line of attack.
I think this is going to give Dallas a Perfect Storm Renovations 1st down. It does. We'll move the chains again. So Dallas shown some balance this year. More than last year, where they had Wider quarterback and he could zip the ball around. They didn't have much of a running game.
Well, that's changed this year.
It's changed.
And Coach is really trying to keep it as balanced as he can, as we're seeing in this drive.
Remember, the last time we were here was the district semifinal last year. North Pocono ran all over them. To the end zone, wide open receiver. It's a Dallas touchdown for Nick Farrell for 11 yards. And the lead will go back up. It's Farrell's 2nd touchdown of the season.
Well, right now, they're playing a zone coverage, and the post is a zone breaker. He just beat the cornerback, and the linebacker didn't drop. The free safety didn't get over fast enough. Nice job.
Sean Reed on the coverage. Couldn't keep up with Farrell. Chabiak's kick is up and good, 11:07 remaining. Let's look at this pass one more time.
You'll see good pass protection from that offensive line. On the post pattern, he just makes his break, and there's no one there. That was a great pitch and catch right there for a touchdown. Dallas answers Valley West's drive on that touchdown.
Now let's see if Valley West can sustain a drive or get another touchdown on the board. They don't want this one to get too far out of hand. It's already a 14-point lead. Well, next week we will be up in Old Forge, the pizza capital of the world. We will have the Class A matchup between Lackawanna Trail and Old Forge. Both teams right now are losing. So there are only 2 teams this year in Class A. It's those 2 in District 2.
So what you're saying, there's a 50-50 chance they're going to see each other in playoffs.
A winner might take the home field advantage.
We haven't had a game up at Tunnel Hill yet that we've broadcast.
You haven't. I haven't.
I haven't.
Suda through, and it'll be a touchback. So Valley West will bring it out.
Tomorrow is another nonstop all-day college football Saturday on Fox.
Yes, it is.
Game 1 kickoff is at noon with Maryland at Michigan, followed by Oregon at Washington State, and finally, Kansas State battles the unbeaten Sooners of Oklahoma. Get your fill of college football all day tomorrow, only on Fox 56.
Hey, you want to tune in at noon, right? Who's playing for the Terrapins? Starting tight end?
The guy named Dupree.
Played at Lakeland.
Yeah, his brother's having a monster year.
Once or twice on TV.
And
once or twice?
It's neat to see local kids, especially playing at a Division I level. We always have a ton of kids playing Division III, and we have a sprinkling at 2, but it's rare when we have Division I players on national television.
We'll bring that up in a second after this play. Cobb breaks it to the outside. Great tackle coming in by Turpak. Short gain. Well, I was going to say last week, and I think I texted you, we'll look at this play. We had 3 players. I kept flipping around. We had Maryland had C.J. Dupree.
Yes. Michigan.
Michigan had the linebacker from Southern Columbia. It will come to me in a second.
And
then
Julian Fleming at Ohio State.
Returned to Ohio State's lineup, caught 2 touchdowns.
Just 2.
Just 2.
Just 2.
Well, it was a big win.
It was huge, but
over.
We've been waiting for Julian Fleming, the Southern Columbia grad, to really start showcasing what he can do.
Suda with some running room. He's got a perfect storm first down. He's up near midfield. Nice play for Valley West.
They go with 28 toss, fullback leading, kicking out. Key stalk block right up there from the split end. Nice job. This is a great boxing match that's occurring out here on Mountaineer Stadium field.
25-yard play. Not too bad for Valley West.
These 2 teams are trading it blow for blow on this. Let's see if the Spartans can respond with another score of their own.
Sincevich back. Can't get rid of it. He's going to be taken out for a big loss. A sack by Dallas all the way back at the 36. And just came out of my mouth. Got to throw that away.
He's absolutely, Bob. He had plenty of time in there. There was 5 guys in coverage. They double-teamed the split end going all the way downfield on the 9 pattern. They still had their 3 linebackers in the mid zone. And a 6-man rush really put the pressure on Sincevich.
Cal Halliday. How can we forget him? We've had him once or twice on the air as well, playing for Michigan State. So after the big loss, Cobb still on his feet. That's the old Cobb we saw up to midfield, 12-yard gain.
Wow, great run. They come with that counter in there at 67's lead blocking. He's stumbling and bumbling, and he gets 12 yards back, and he's down right now because he's getting banged up.
So 9:05 after the Cobb run, he remains on the turf here. Hopefully he's okay.
He got up on his own accord, started going back to the huddle, and then I'm sure he's just winded right now, and your body can only take so much, and he's really been getting beat up all year. Here's that sweep, cuts inside, 1 hit, 2, 3, 4 other Dallas players then come in and land on top of him. So this year alone, I believe he's rushed for 56 times in 4 games prior. So he gets a workload, and again, your body can take so much. Good thing that he's getting up.
Well, we're midway through. We talked about that. Time to take a look, start looking at the District 2 standings. We're going to take a look at 5A, and we actually have a full complement this year of 5A. Last couple years, they've had to have District 11 in there. This year, we have a full package. Scranton and Pittston area playing tonight. Delaware Valley in there. Don't be deceived by the 1-3 record. And there you see Valley West Abington and West Scranton.
Well, hey, look at the size of those schools. They should have tons of kids on the sideline. Some of the schools do, some of the schools don't. But Scranton, look at them, 4-0. Pittston really is 2-2. They've had 2 really tough games where they lost. Del Val, they went down to Florida, played one of the top tier schools down there.
Played Harrisburg. Number 2 ranked 6th team in the state.
And Coach Olsemer likes to challenge his kids with a tough schedule.
So on 3rd downs and 7, maybe a yard. So now on the Dallas side of the field, if you're Coach Baranski, are you going for it?
Well,
you're having trouble with your punts.
And the wind, it's a crosswind right now, so I would think he's going to go for it.
Well, they only have one timeout left. They called 2 in the first quarter. Remember, last 4th down, they went for it.
And
Successful, yes. It was a success.
So they're letting the clock.
They're going to call another timeout or take the 5. Okay, that's the last timeout, 7:51 remaining. We'll take a quick timeout, 4th down. We come back for Valley West.
Yeah, you got 6 fingers out. You know, like, listen, they seem to be.
So 4th down on the way, 6 yards for Valley West. They want to get some momentum back. Play action. No one open. Gonna heave it up so you can get it, and it is bobbled and on the ground. Boy, that was almost caught by Suda. That almost fell into a Valley West player's hand. Instead, Dallas will take over on downs.
I like the misdirection in here. They're trying to fake the ball in here. They're pulling. Again, snap your shoulders on that. Run it back going through that line. This is just as good as a punt if they were to have thrown an interception. Look at the concentration on Wells right there. Wow.
Well, Amanda's found our Dr. Todd smile cam tonight down with the cheerleaders from Dallas. Amanda, sure a lot of smiles going on right now.
That's right, Bob. There's a lot of smiles. They have a lot to cheer about. Tonight's first Dr. Todd Smile Cam is brought to you by the Dallas Mountaineers cheerleaders.
Hopefully they're staying warm tonight, Coach.
I think the cheering and the scoring helps that. Oh.
Zabatiki to Peters just off his fingertips on the sidelines. And Rich Manello going for the dagger, if you want to say.
He's going to keep going at it. He's going to try to get these guys and put that nail in the coffin. That ball was back-shouldered. You saw he had to stop, spin, turn it as his momentum was carrying him towards the end zone. He got 2 hands on it, but just couldn't pull it in. Great concentration, great effort.
Balesta, after a big push from his line, give him 5 more.
Watch number 54 on here on the replay. Aiden Fennell, the 6'1", 212-pound senior. Fold block. He goes right around the center up in there to help kick out. The fullback picked up the defensive end. Number 65 coming in. And Balesta got just tough yards in there again, going up inside on the Spartan defense.
Same play. Balesta bowling over people. The Stonehill commit. Carrying Spartans all the way down for a perfect storm renovations. First down, and I don't know who he hit in that gap, but hopefully they got up.
Right there. Number 65.
McLaughlin.
Wow.
The wrestler.
228. John McLaughlin, 6 foot. Senior. He's used to playing, and again, he's a nice looking kid, but when you're coming up against Tyler Balesta with that type of speed, wow. Excuse me, I said Tyler Parker.
Geski's first carry of the night. I mean, if you get 5 yards on first down, that's a recipe for success.
Oh, absolutely. You're not thinking in terms of, oh, we have to get that first, because you have 2 downs to get 5 yards. So you open up your playbook. Now, will Coach Manello go for a pass on this one? We've seen it. He's got the wind at his back.
That he does. Farrell caught the pass last time on a little slant, and let's see if they go back to it. Balesa taken down by Dwyer in the backfield.
Logan Dwyer, great job, as we call in the biz, firing the gun. He sees the window, he breaks it open, comes flying in there, and just nice body slam for a loss.
That was Geske who had the ball, excuse me. So now, as you mentioned, the 2 downs to get the first.
Now you go back to your play card with a 3rd and long. Bootleg or screen? What do you think, Bob?
Blitz for Valley West, that's what I see. He's going to chase Zapatiki. This one's coming back. Flag thrown by the referee.
When it's backed by the quarterback, you know what that call is going to be.
Gamble and number 68, Jason Pearson. Also a flag on the play, indication is holding.
Right there.
Yep.
I believe that was 54, 56. You saw that as the defender turned his shoulders, he grasped on him like a vice grip.
So that will back up the Mountaineers and bring up 3rd and really long.
That's a spot foul, so it's marched off from the spot of the foul.
So the ball all the way back to the 40-yard line, 41. Play action again. Zapatiki going to air it out long into double coverage. And it drops incomplete. Suda had a chance of it to pick that one off. Headed for Farrell. So now 4th and long. You think you have to punt, right?
Coach will play the field position with them. Look at the pass protection that the Mountaineers gave him. Look at all the time he has. Perfect ball thrown. Perfect spiral. Oof.
Farrell already with a touchdown tonight through the air, and it looks like they're going to leave the offense on 4th down and 21. 3-man rush. And they're going to call timeout. So Dallas calls timeout. 4:51 remaining in this first half. The first half, pretty much what we thought, but I think Valley West playing a lot better than we had thought. They only trail by 14. They've showed some life. They showed some great power and strength, and they're not letting this Dallas team really beat them.
Allied Services helps seniors and veterans live safely at home. Become a paid caregiver today. Visit alliedservices.org/caregiver today.
Okay, how many winter hats do we have on in that crowd? I see at least 1, maybe 2, blankets, gloves. Is it one of those, where are my winter clothes? I know in our house, we have to find them, and then we say, oh, the gloves don't fit, or there's a rip, and we forgot to get new ones.
Or you only have one of your gloves.
Yes, yeah, yep.
And for as cold as we think it is right now in November, December, January, we're going to wish for days like this.
Absolutely. So, Roland Laubach on for his punt. High hanging kick. Ooh, it almost hit a Valley West player. Not sure if it did. He looked like Magarevich, who went off before. Glad to see him back, but I'm not sure that didn't hit him. So Valley West will take over at the 21.
The wind takes a little bit of a factor because he did kick that really high. And all of a sudden, it caught it, it hung it up, and then when it dropped, that's when the Valley West player was by it, and I also saw a Dallas player overran the ball.
Mountaineers next week will take on Hazelton in a big game.
Oof.
And Hazelton beating West Scranton tonight 21-0. This Valley West team has Berwick, and they're tied with Wilkes-Barre. To the eye. Little hole for Cobb. Glad to see him back as well. He took a big hit at the end.
Wyoming Valley West offensive line, that play, they stalemated the defensive line of the Mountaineers, and that gave Cobb just a glimmer to get in there to get the yardage that he needs. Tough running, though. Yeah, he's putting his shoulder down. There's 3 Mountaineers right there wrapping him up.
Valley West would love to put any kind of drive together. Remember, they don't have any timeouts left. They've used their allotment here in the first half. Little toss and worked last time on the other side. Didn't work this time.
Well, Tyler Mattis is a sophomore, and his momentum took him down on that. He goes with that deep sweep, and you can see he just had his head down. And one of the things that all coaches will teach players is wherever your head goes, your body goes. Hence the reason why he ended up just dropping down for a short gain.
So instead of 3rd and short, it's 3rd and long now. So a bunch of personnel in and out. The Valley West better be careful. They don't have a timeout.
And you don't want to back another 5 yards and then try to punt this ball into the wind.
Sevich will go underneath center. Play action. Oh, he had Suda over the middle. Didn't see him. He's going to be taken down and fumbles. Ball's out. And right into the hands of a Dallas Mountaineer. Farrell comes up with the turnover, and the Mountaineers are in business one more time.
Bob, you said this on one of their earlier drives. He's got to learn to get rid of that ball quicker. Now he's just indecisive. What's he going to do? And he puts the ball get punched out by number 56 of Dallas.
Lucas Schultz.
Nice job. That's another drill that coaches all over, everywhere do. They do strip drills. They'll do punch outs. And good things happen. And there's an example of when all that hard work pays off.
So an opportunity for Dallas to put another one on the board before the half. Short field again. Little shovel pass to Geske. Flag comes in. It is a Dallas touchdown, but my feeling is that it's coming back.
You have good feelings about that. Sometimes I wonder if you were an umpire or a referee in another life.
I don't like to guess, but little shovel pass, like the play call. Little Andy Reid action.
Coming at you, baby. Now, if he does a Philly special. You see Earl Harris blocking the back.
Well, Coach Manel is not going to be happy at half. He's up by 14, but
not enough.
They have not played clean.
Let's see if there's a shovel pass right there. He's coming up inside. That's where they called the defender turns. That's tough as you're stalk blocking, you're in his numbers, and then when he turns, that's when the official sees it, and they call block in the back.
And that call buys the ball at the 25 back to 1st and 10 because that's a call where the ball.
It's another spot foul.
Spot foul, yep. Zapatiki play action, plenty of time. And overthrows his intended receiver. McLaughlin was in his face. Trying to look for Lewis out there.
Big John McLaughlin putting pressure on Zapatiki that time.
See if coach goes back to the ground. Under 3 to play here in the first half.
Well, there's no urgency on the Mountaineers right now because they know they got to kick the ball off to start the half. So let's chew up the clock right now, keep it out of their hands, and we'll control it.
Right back to the run. Bread and butter, Balesta up to the 11. Excuse me, the 16, excuse me. 3rd and short now.
You see that slot motion coming up. He folds up inside, looking for the linebacker, the second level, and Parker Balesta is right on his backside, and that's what allows them to be so successful with that play.
So Dallas inside the Allied Services red zone. Back to Balesta. He's got a perfect storm renovations first down.
Parker Balesta, the ball carrier, brought down by number 1, John Campbell, and the play is good for a Mountaineer. First down.
Now we go back the opposite way, and Parker Balesta is he's just a physical specimen. Coach really emphasized to me how hard he worked in the offseason, how strong he's gotten. He didn't give me the numbers on his bench or squat, but you can see how durable and how strong he is.
He is strong. Oh, on the turf, right into a Spartan hand. What a break for Valley West.
Fumble on the snap, recovered by number 68, Jason.
That is not going to make Coach Manello happy. I didn't see a number who recovered it. Maybe it was McLaughlin. But boy, a break there for the Spartans headed into halftime, possibly.
And that was just a miscue on the snap. It was a little high. He started moving to his left, and his hands went to the right. He never had thumb to thumb and index to index. Here's a great job on the replay. You see the shuffle motion. Just came up, and who got that?
Hard to tell.
It wasn't McLaughlin.
No. Well, whoever it was.
Huge break.
Huge break, yep. Now, Valley West will get the ball to begin the second half, so I'm thinking you're going to see a couple runs here. Dallas has a couple timeouts they can use. Cobb, there's a hole, but it closed quickly. And there you see a whole bunch of Mountaineers.
Brought down by number 21, Mike Lewis.
Taking him down.
And number 58, Dan.
Great job with the double team, and they pulled number 65 to get, that's John McLaughlin, I keep calling his name. He was the left tackle, pulled to his right, and Isaiah Cobb, there was a nice huge hole there, and he gained 4 yards the top way.
Coach Manello not going to call any timeouts. So this clock is going to run out. Probably one more play. That should do it for the first half here at Mountaineer Stadium. Cobb hit around the line of scrimmage. And Coach Dallas will call, I believe, a timeout. 36 seconds left. He should have one left. Now Valley West will have to run a play as we head into halftime. Coming up in the Toyota halftime report, we'll hear from our friends at Fox 56 News first at 10 and see what's coming up on tonight's news on Fox 56. Amanda has a sit-down interview with our friends from Allied. Jan and I are back in the booth with some highlights and some stats. Here is Coach Baranski. Remember, took over for Pat Keening.
He did, and our condolences to Coach Baranski. He just lost his father just a few weeks ago, and that's just weighs so much on you. I mean, as a family man, you know, you're trying to run your team as a family, and it does. It takes an emotional toll out on you.
So, very young Valley West team comes back on. 3rd down and 4 officially.
Isaiah Cobb is lined up at that slot position, tight end slot.
Quarterback run. A lot of blue jerseys there, and Zinsevich is going to go down. About a yard loss on it.
Zinsevich on the keeper. Brought down by number 56, Lucas.
Dallas calls a quick timeout, 22 seconds left. Or someone hurt.
We have, no, there's an injury,
yeah.
Valley West player.
Okay, yep.
And I think it's Zinsevich. Quarterback keep all the way, but look at all these blue jerseys. Stalk blocking, I talk about that week in and week out, is critical, and when you don't do that, bad things happen. And now that was your quarterback, that's laying out on the field. I mean, there was a host of blue jerseys around him. So, and Coach Baranski's coming over to check on his quarterback right now.
Hopefully he's okay. We had a couple injuries from the Spartans in this first half. They both since returned to play.
And Joe Junta is on the right-hand side standing up. He's the trainer for Dallas. I know him personally. He was my trainer when I was at Tunkhannock back in '99. He does a great job. All these guys are going to work together to make sure he's okay.
Let's take a look at the district standings now. We have a second for 4A. This is where Dallas comes in, and probably the most competitive we're going to see, except for maybe that 5A, but from a full 4 standpoint, which they're going to be 6 in the playoffs, we're going to see a very competitive playoffs.
We are. I mean, Dallas, we know, obviously 4-0 right now, trying to get them 5-0. Crestwood, they lost that first game to Valley. No, did they beat Valley View, or did they lose? I have some timers.
They won.
They won, okay. But again, they put people on notice. Valley View, we know how good Coach Hawanitz and that whole staff and that whole program is. North Pocono is the dark horse in there. Honesdale is, last time I checked, they were winning against Tunkhannock tonight. Coach Rushtek has done a tremendous job up there with the Hornets. And Berwick, we've watched them up at Valley View. And Coach has done a great job. It's his first year, and they've just had some bad breaks. And now they're trying to get this program going back in the glory days of Berwick.
Well, Crestwood is winning, beating Williamsport. Valley View is beating Pittston area. North Pocono is getting shut out by Scranton. And Honesdale is shutting out Tunkhannock 29-0.
Well,
so we talk about the competitiveness of 4A, and you see it right there.
And each of those schools has a trademark, what they've done well. Coach Rushik up at Honesdale has done a tremendous job with their run game. We know that Valley View is very balanced, and again, Adam Hawanis tries to get that pass game going. So, and Coach Dolan, he actually does a real nice job balancing. Usually he has like a really great running back, or he's got a great quarterback. So, Bob, you were saying how competitive this 4A is going to be. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a great one.
Okay, Valley West has had problems tonight with the snap. So let's see. With 22 seconds left. Oh, a high snap. Ingram gets it away. It's short in the wind. And coming up, Parker to make the catch. 16 seconds left. 44 yards away are the Mountaineers. The wind is at the back, so maybe you get into field goal range, but you still need about 30 yards for that. And Dallas is, I believe, out of timeouts. But, you have a chance. Maybe Balesta breaks one, or Zapatiki can find somebody.
I think they're going to do it. They got 2 plays probably called. They're in their spread formation, so I'd venture to say they're going to be trying to air this one.
Little short pass to Balesta. Little screen, and Balesta gets pushed out of bounds. Near the line to gain. Let me see where they mark it.
You'll see right here. Here he comes. He goes up like he's going to block, slips out. The offensive lineman.
Flag down.
Oh.
What do you think I was doing? That's a flag motion.
I thought I know. I thought I said something wrong.
No. I said there's a flag down.
They're going to probably say a man downfield.
There was someone downfield, and that's what caught me off guard. The guy called it a screen because I thought it was just a little dump pass. Okay, then they're going to pick up the flag because it was a screen. They're picking it up, so it is a successful gain, and it is a Perfect Storm Renovations first down for Dallas, and the clock will stop with 9 seconds.
I thought there was somebody downfield, but on the replay, you saw it was actually one of the slot men, one of the slot receivers that went down inside past the offensive lineman.
11-yard gain on that. As I said, 9 seconds left. Get one quick one out of bounds, a field goal, or you go for the end zone, Coach?
End zone.
Yep. Zapatiki, nope, going to go to the sidelines to Farrell. Farrell gets out of bounds, 2 seconds left, and the ball at the 18-yard line.
Nice job. Sets his feet, looks at his receiver. Ball's a little wobbly. Farrell does a nice job grabbing that. I'm sure if it was me, I would say get out of bounds. He gained an extra 4 yards. Great effort. But when the times you don't have a timeout, you want to try to save as much of that as you can.
That was a perfect Storm Renovations first down. Field goal kickers on. Jopiak, the senior.
Jopiak will attempt a 35-yard field goal.
35-yard field goal. Parker is the holder. Again, wind at his back. Just get the snap off. Kick is up, and the kick looks long enough, and it is good. So good clock management from the Mountaineers extends their lead at half, 24-7. And Coach Manello will catch up with Amanda, but I'm going to say he's not too happy. A bunch of mistakes there, and I know Amanda with Coach Manello. Let's go down to her right now.
Coach, you seem to have Wyoming Valley West on their heels, but lost some momentum there. How do you get that back in the second half?
We go in here, we're going to make adjustments here. We just got to settle down and play our game. You know, we've been saying all week long, they got great playmakers over there, and they showed that, but we got to play Dallas football in the second half.
That's right. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys, you heard it from Coach.
He should be happy about the field goal, though. I'll tell you
Yes.
that. That's a big one to go into halftime. Toyota halftime reports on the way. Number 6 Dallas leads Valley West 24-7.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals, presented by Tom Hesser Dealerships on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. It's halftime here. Amanda Cool joined now with Amanda Petrosky, a speech language pathologist at Allied. Amanda, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. Talk to me about what you do as a speech language pathologist.
Yeah, so I work at Allied's Inpatient Rehab Hospital. I'm the primary speech therapist there. So on a daily basis, I'm seeing CVA patients, stroke patients, patients with Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, even spinal cord injuries at times.
Talk to me about what your typical day is like at Allied.
Yeah, so every day is different, which is nice. It's never the same thing. Patients are there typically 2 to 4 weeks at most, so they're constantly coming in and out. So my caseload is changing all the time, which is really nice. I like to see my swallowing patients during meal times, of course. And throughout the day, I'll see my severe aphasic patients as much as possible, the severe swallowing patients as much as possible, especially those who maybe are on PEG tubes, and we're trying to wean them off of those to start eating by mouth again.
Now, there's a common misconception about speech language pathologists that you just work on speech. What else do you work on with your patients?
So there's a lot. Speech, language, so aphasia. There is motor speech, so dysarthria, apraxia of speech, cognition, and even swallowing.
What is the age range of patients that you see?
Right now, my caseload varies from 19 years old all the way up to 95 years old.
What is the most rewarding thing about working at Allied?
I love all of my coworkers, the doctors, the CNAs, the therapists. Everybody is really in the mindset of having the patient at the center of everything. The interdisciplinary approach is great. I love seeing the progress. Sometimes I'm just going about my therapy every day and I forget to step back and realize how much progress the patients really are making. And I usually see that when the family comes in for training and they say, we see such a difference and thank you so much. So that really, really touches my heart.
I'm sure. And you had the special opportunity prior to being a speech language pathologist to shadow a speech language pathologist here at Allied.
Yes, I did that when I was an undergrad, actually, before I even knew what I wanted to do for sure. My office now is the office I was able to observe that previous speech therapist in, so it is special to me.
Well, it's crazy how things come full circle.
Yes, they do.
Amanda, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Stick with us. We'll be right back with highlights from tonight's game and kickoff coming up next.
I'm Bill Conaboy. I'm President and CEO of Allied Services Integrated Healthcare System. On behalf of our 3,500 employees, we are thrilled to once again be a sponsor of Friday Night Rivals. I grew up in this community and I know what high school football means to this community. We wish all the parents, the students, and the staff the best of luck in the coming football season.
On behalf of Allied Services, we present a donation to the Dallas School District. And Mike Richards, the Director of Athletics here at Dallas. We thank Mike and the entire administration for having us here tonight. A little bit brisk, a little bit chilly. Got your gloves out, your hats, but we're enjoying a pretty good football game. Bob Ide and Jan Cichak back in a warm booth. No offense to Amanda, but we're enjoying a good game. I think a little bit closer than we might have expected.
Big time. We thought that Dallas was going to come in here with that 40 points a game average and light it up the first half. But momentum has been a key to this game for both sides, and we've seen that in that first half.
Parker Bolesta having a big night as expected, but a couple of small plays not going Dallas's way, including one of the turnovers late in the half. Excuse me.
But I have to credit the Spartan defense right now. They are hanging tough. When big plays have been made, it's because the offensive line has taken over and created these holes for Bolesta just to do what he does best, and that's run and get big yardage.
Now, the Mountaineers did show what you can do in 22 seconds when you have field position. They got down into field goal range. Chopiak got a 35-yard field goal, and that's where we at, 24-7 the score. So let's take a look at some first half highlights. Well, Dallas came out dominating that first quarter, and Bolesta took off his first of 2 touchdowns on the night.
I believe that was 45 yards right there. Does a great job with it. Another view of this run. Gets to the outside, and when he gets to down the sideline, he's gone. Touchdown number 2. He's looking back. Now, just when you thought Valley West was out, they pull a little trickery, and they go to their man. Isaiah Cobb does a beautiful job with a 38-yard touchdown from the fake pass.
That makes it 14-7.
And now Dallas comes back. We wanted to see how this was going to go. Great job. Farrell looks it in on that post pattern. Here's that 35-yard right before the half by Chopiak. Here's a weird fact. I taught with his grandmother at Tunkhannock years ago.
And that's the score, 24-7. Amanda going to get a quick word with Coach Baranski, and we'll have a report on him. Both teams coming onto the field. They'll stretch out, and they'll need to stretch tonight. It's very chilly and windy out there. So if you are the Spartans, you get the ball to begin the third quarter. What do you want to see from your team?
Well, honestly, they've got to get more first downs. Right now, Dallas has 13, and Valley West only had 3. So they've got to start getting possession, control the clock, start really taking the offense away from Dallas by controlling their own offense. We saw that Dallas has 231 yards total offense, Mr. Bolesta 152. So they're going to have to key him to slow him down. Valley West had 120 on offense. Cobb had 34 of the rushes. So we know what's going to happen. They've got some trickery up their sleeve, the Spartans do. They've got to maintain possession of the ball.
Lucas Savage hurt before the half. We'll have to see if he comes back out under the center. When we come back, third quarter is on the way. Welcome back. We're getting set for the third quarter here on MyTV WQMY. Healthy lead for Dallas, 17 points. That made at the end of the half, we had a 35-yard field goal, Coach, and that's where we stand right now.
And I just have to thank our friend on the sideline, Steve Bennett, for sending those stats up to make us sound good. Thank you, Steve. That 35-yard field goal, that was key to get those extra points right before half, knowing that you have to kick the ball off to your opponent.
And Dallas going to head to Hazleton next week, take on the Cougars, and Valley West will host Berwick. Boy, back in the day, those Valley West Berwick days, those games were huge. Coach Curry, Gino Lewis, who's now in the CFL quarterbacking, and
Eddie Michaels is, you know, those two teams have such history. And then when Coach Curry left Berwick to go to Valley West and then went back to Berwick.
Coach Keating was there.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just, so that's a rivalry no matter, throughout the records there.
And next week's game, Dallas, Hazleton, they're both averaging over 40 points a game. It should be a slugfest down there.
Underway in the second half, Suda from his 15 right into a storm of players just past the 25. And Amanda did talk to the coach from Valley West. And what did he have to say, Amanda?
You know, there's some substitutions on offense when they're missing, you know, their tight end, and they've responded well. He said, you know, they just need to really come out here and put some points up. They got the ball, and he said, you know, they have to win the second half.
Thank you, Amanda, and that's exactly right. Good to see Lucas Zancevich back. The junior was banged up a little bit towards the end of the half. He walked off, and he'll be underneath center to start this third quarter. Cobb with a nice little hole. Good yardage on first down for Isaiah Cobb.
We talk about Isaiah Cobb and how big he is. 6'2", 230 pounds. Watch his jump cut. Whoop. Right in there. Does a nice job. Good ball security. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue jerseys having to take him down.
And it's going to be the guys up front that are going to help Spartans get back in this game. They get holes like that for Cobb, he'll have some running room. Gets the corner and gets a Figure Law Firm first down here in the second half.
Well, they're going to, I think what they're going to try to do is like a little box and weave right here where they're going to go inside, outside to try to keep the defense semi-honest. And then they're going to spring for a play action. Nice toss play. Good job by number 50 and his split end out there, stalk blocking, to get that seal on the edge to allow that first down to be run by Cobb.
Remember, Suda had a long run in that first half off a toss like that. It's been successful. Cobb, no room in the middle. He'll bounce to the outside. Picks up 7.
Watch how patient he is. He's not a barn burner, but he's going to be a really patient runner. He gets to the outside. He's looking, hits, spins. And with that spin, he fell forward another 2 yards to set them up for a really second and short. This is what Coach Baranski needs this offense to do. Grind it out, keep the first downs coming.
So Valley West has come out with a lot of pride, even though they're trailing in this one. Put a couple first downs together. Cobb hit behind the line of scrimmage, lost the ball, but got it back. He'll lose 2, bring up 3rd and long now.
They just tried running that inside ISO. Fullback is leading them through. And he runs into a wall of blue. Ball pops out, and he smartly just fell right on top of it.
Cobb coming in just about 199 yards on the season on 56 carries and just 2 touchdowns. You know, last year he 1,569 yards and 18 touchdowns last year.
The difference of a year.
Yeah.
And you have to give that credit to that offensive line. Not taking anything away from Isaiah Cobb. He's a gifted athlete, but it's kind of tough when the front 5 are not dominating.
Savage over the middle, and Cobb, he overthrew him. And both players get up gingerly. Parker put the hit on him.
Let's see this again. Here we go. Great job with our replay. Thank you guys down in our trailer. Yeah, we call that, unfortunately in coaching, they'll call that a hospital pass, because when you throw the ball up like that, kids are competitors. They're going to go for it, and when you expose your body like that, another defender comes in and crushes you, that can happen.
It could have been a lot worse. That's all I can tell you that was. Parker's walking around. Cobb, who was down in the first half, remains down right here.
NFL on Fox this Sunday starts with the NFL kickoff show at 11. Then Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles take on former Eagle Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders, followed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Green Bay Packers. Fox NFL Sunday only on Fox 56.
Yeah, our Eagles starting out pretty strong. I say us, me and you.
Yeah,
Boy upstairs is a Cowboys fan. Bill and Steve, front of the truck, Eagles fans.
Well, and I like to drink water, not water.
Okay, Mr. Philly.
Hey, you even for dinner, you even bought a Philly cheesesteak pizza for the guys.
That's right. So you know, Eagles and Commanders, great, and can't wait to see Brady and Rodgers go at it, maybe for the last time.
I mean, we're fortunate to live in this time where, and all the kids are, to be able to see one of the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady.
Oh, you thought you were saying
Aaron Rodgers too. I mean, both of those. I mean, they make it look so simple. That's the thing. It's just amazing, especially with the athletes that are playing against them.
Isaiah Cobb remains down after taking a big hit off the high pass from his quarterback. His helmet's off.
Isaiah Cobb shaken up on the play.
And this young man is taking a beating. He is most of the offense this year for Valley West. But that is not a good sign if you're a Wyoming Valley West fan.
And you know Isaiah Cobb is given everything he has on every play, and he just he got walloped on that last play. He's walking gingerly over with two coaches assisting him, but it's good to see that he is up on his own accord walking to the sideline.
Here is the hit one
Right
more
here.
time.
Like I said, the ball's just up, and he's a competitor right in there, and he just landed on his tailbone.
Yeah, Parker with the clean hit.
Oh, no,
his head was
dirty.
up, yep. And
now it's back to work, back to the
so
grind.
it's fourth down. They're not in punt position. Are they going to run a play? Now back into punt position, Ingram. Parker goes back, high snap, flag down, high kick into the wind. Peters with the catch. Well, let's see what this flag is. And we have another flag pushing and shoving behind, right near the line of scrimmage. So we're going to have two flags. One's going to be a dead ball, and one was on the punt. So Earl Harris will discuss this with his referees. See if we re-kick or what's going to happen there.
Yeah, I saw Lucas Schultz, number 56 from Dallas, John with number 1, Javon Campbell. So I think that one of those guys drew the personal foul. And they're just sorting it out right now. Obviously, the first flag came probably because it was offsides, or illegal motion. Thank you, Bob.
There you see next week we'll be in the pizza capital of the world. Let's hear from Earl Harris.
Coach, you're going to refuse that one and take the other penalty, okay?
False start against the Spartans. That penalty will be declined.
We got a personal foul.
Also against the Spartans.
So there you hear it, there you see it, and Coach Manello will take the longer of the two penalties.
Well, you couldn't see the illegal motion.
Getzky almost got that one.
He almost did. There was a huge gap in there. And it's out of screen where the two guys are drawn. And
yeah, it was it was after the catch. So now Coach Baranski, does he say, what do you think he's arguing?
He's saying it takes two right now. And again, he says, not just my player, it was their player that instigated by pushing him onto the ground. Then all Coach can do right there is plead his case. The officials are not going to change their mind. They're not going to. We don't have replay. And it's very frustrating when you're 0-4 and you're trying to spark your team. You just lost your best offensive player trying to get something going.
So here comes that Dallas offense, averaging 40 points per game. Little shovel pass, and no one has Geske. Can Geske outrun everyone? He can. It goes down as a pass, and it goes down as a 57-yard Dallas touchdown.
Well, confidence booster for the sophomore here. Look at this pass right here. Nice job. They just completely sealed it down. It was wide open. I may have been able to get 10 yards running on that myself. But congratulations. That was a great run by Dylan Geske right there.
So Chopiak is on. Dallas extends their lead. And Valley West has lost their best player. So pretty much can tell you how the night's going here up in the back mountain for these two Wyoming Valley Conference teams. So that extends the lead, 31-7 for Dallas. 9:16 left in the third.
Here's a different angle of that play. This is awesome. Look how they sealed that down. Great drive block by 56. Just drove them down inside to the linebackers. Geske just ran for daylight and a touchdown.
Yeah, no one had him there. No one was expecting that shovel pass. And once he got into the open, you're not going to catch him.
That gives him his 4th touchdown for the year. And a nice little, I want to say, trickery from Coach Manella and the Mountaineers right here. One play, 56 yards, I believe you said, 57, touchdown.
57. Okay, let's go on the other side. Coach Baranski, Isaiah Cobb is probably out. And he's still sitting over there, so definitely he's out. He doesn't have a helmet on. What do you do?
Well, you also have a weapon that's 6'6", a junior, Makai Wells. I think they've got to start utilizing him a little bit. Maybe just short passes, go with the outs, maybe a slant or a post. Try to get the ball in his hands. We know that Suda can run the ball too, but yeah, he's 5'7". He's not quite the physical specimen that Cobb is.
Suda does pick it up from his 9. He's only going to get about 6 yards on that. And the Valley West offense on the field at the 15 of the Mountaineers. So their own 15, excuse me.
This year's #1 drama is Monarch. Follow as their heir to a country music dynasty fights to protect her family's legacy. Tuesday at 9, only on Fox 56.
There you saw Cobb momentarily blocked by one of the coaches over there. They're talking to him, and hopefully he's okay and back in a couple weeks. So Riggs becomes the eye back. And the sophomore, with 69 yards coming in, picks up only a couple.
This is what we talk about, growing pains in the next man up. So you have a sophomore now trying to replace your workhorse, and he's just going to have, they just have to be patient with these young players, give them a chance. The offensive line has to do a good job. Now, if they can keep, here you go. He read that perfectly. He was trying to go to the left, and he saw the hole, cut back to the inside.
Toss to Mattis, and barely gets the edge. 3rd down now coming. Mattis came in with 87 total yards and a touchdown. He's another sophomore. So yes, a young team for Valley West, growing pains. And we've seen that even in the Lackawanna League with teams like Scranton Prep and some others. They're playing young players. So, you know, next year, next couple years, they should be the cream of the crop, or at least up in competitiveness.
The dividends should start paying off for them. Unfortunately, it's going to take time. And football, people want immediate results. And you have 2 sophomores that are doing running back by committee right now. So they just have to be patient. The Spartans have to be patient with them. And good things will start eventually happening.
That's their first time out of the second half.
Valley West calls time out. First of the second half. So Wyoming Valley West, we saw what they did, 4 straight losses. Berwick on the way, Hazelton, they get prep up at Scranton on a Saturday afternoon. And they'll end with their rivals now from Wilkes-Barre. And, that's a big one, too. They could get a trophy, end the season on a positive note.
And build for that future. Make sure the kids understand how important it is to be successful in the classroom, in the weight room, and that will translate to success on the field. And if you look at their schedule, Williamsport, new coach down there, they're having growing pains. Yep. Hazelton is really a powerhouse. Scranton Prep is at a crossroads. They lost London Montgomery, their offense, who I'm not going to compare Cobb to, but he's that kind of impact player. Where they don't have him, and their offense, they've struggled this year.
Sinsevich going to go long, has a receiver. Oh, he threw it over the wrong shoulder, but he wells out there. You mentioned him before, Coach. The 6'6" junior, they went out to him. He had a couple steps on the defender.
I like the play. I like the call. There was a good ball. He just got, he looked over his shoulder and then just continued to spin as opposed to running down that sideline. But you have just such a height difference here. 6'6" against 5'9" Malarkey or 5'9" Turpak.
Lewis on the coverage. Ingram, the lefty, to kick. Flag comes out. Oh, it might have hit a Valley West player at the 40. Let's see where this goes. It's going to be on the Valley West side of the 50, but let's see what the flag is first.
I want to say it's like deja vu. It'll be illegal motion, probably on the Spartans. Let's see what Earl Harris has to say.
Illegal formation. Refuse it and take the ball there.
Okay, so Dallas, first down in Valley West territory.
And the ball, again, got hung up in the wind. It dropped. Dallas has excellent field position right now. Well, they came back with one play with the shuffle pass there. What would you call it now, Bob? If you were Coach Manello and you have the weapons that you have, and we're seeing younger kids right now. Tyler Balesta is out.
Geske, play action. Zapatiki to the sidelines. Well, you're going to leave Zapatiki in a little bit. You want to get him some work. Archie Stevens gets the catch.
Here you go, right in here. Nice job with the play action. Quick out. You saw all that black, all the chopped up rubber come out, so you know he was inbounds. Right now, Dylan Geske is going to that tailback spot for Parker Balesta.
It was incomplete. Then they called it incomplete there. The ball was at the 36. Geske, one move, and he's into the secondary. Good tackle by Damascus.
Well, another sophomore getting his chance to, earn his bones here. Dylan Geske back there. Nice job with the pull from number 54. Nice job up there. Aiden Fennell with the pull and pin.
Geske behind the offensive line. Push back at the 20. So we are starting to see some of the younger players in for both teams. And some of that is because of injuries, and some of that you want to get some playing time.
Well, right now, a coach feels confident that his team's in control of this game. Let the younger kids get their experience. And we saw that last play, number 54, Aiden Fennell. He did that full block, and it was that ISO play. So, again, Dylan Geske is he's just being able to run where the offensive line takes him.
Blitz by Valley West is picked up. Geske has a hole, and Geske is in for another Dallas touchdown. This one of 20 yards.
Nice job. Look at that, just outside, right in there.
So Geske adds another one, this sophomore. 90 yards coming in. It's a second, I believe, for Geske. Last one was from through the air. It was actually a shovel pass. Peters good hold off a low snap. Chopiak's kick is up and good. And the lead is extended one more time. 6:48 in the third. It's all Dallas here in the back mountain. We are back at Mountaineers Stadium. All Dallas, 2 touchdowns in this third quarter. Suda finally pulls it down, has a little gap, and is taken down right at the 35-yard line.
Well, that was a concern Coach Manel had on his kickoff, his coverage team. The holes are there. They're not, as Coach would say, you cast the net out, then you got to pull it shut. They're not pulling it shut, creating those gaps. And there's a Dallas player down with the cramp.
Is it Dallas or Spartans? Oh, it is Dallas. Thank you. Little cramps there, and ball right at the 35. Valley West trying to find some offense. Some of the backups now coming in for the Mountaineers. We'll do our best to get their names. They make a play. Here's what Dallas has forthcoming.
Oh, big game next week. And
couple
next
on the
2
road,
weeks,
yep.
yes.
And then 3 winnable games. I mean, really winnable.
And they have the Brown Shoe at the end of the year with Lehman. We saw Wilkes-Barre, how they're I want to say Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes they play great football and sometimes not so great football, so they just got to find their consistency there. But Hazleton, we know that's going to be an awesome game next week. And Berwick is just Coach is doing a great job down there getting the Dogs back where they need to be.
Couple scores to pass along. Crestwood in the Valley beating up Williamsport. Prep leading Delaware Valley 20-13 in the fourth quarter. That's a bit of a surprise. Danville all over Southern Columbia, who we'll see in a few weeks. 42-14. As you see, number 7 come off. Lucas Turpak, the junior. He's limping out. Make sure he's all right. Honesdale all over Tunkhannock. Dunmore beating Lackawanna Trail. And we'll see Trail next week. And Old Forge losing 47-13 to our number 1 team, Lakeland. So Zinsevich back, pocket collapses. Oh, he barrels over a Dallas player. Number 5. Clark Van Norden, excuse me. Picks up a figure law first down. He picks up about 10 yards.
Look at this replay. Thank you, Ernie Mignoni. Appreciate that. Great time on this one. He did a wonderful job figuring out, I'm not going to wait. He just tucked it and ran, and good things happened. More decisive.
Toss to Riggs. Riggs breaks out, has a figure law first down. He takes a big hit as well out of bounds. Inside Dallas territory goes Valley West.
That was nice. Riggs gets to the outside. They do a nice job creasing that on the toss. You saw number 50, Elliot Thomas, from his left guard position, get out there. Number 28 does a nice job for Dallas, jamming that shoulder into him. But again, he bounced out of bounds, got right back up, is ready for more.
It's Mark Kartskutsky, the senior, who made the hit in the secondary. Nice cut by Riggs. Oh, excuse me, that's Mattis, who had the ball, number 13 for Valley West, who's carried the ball a couple times tonight as well. So a nice little drive being put on, albeit against some of the backups from Dallas, but still, so some momentum.
But with, even though, Bob, you said that they are, you know, they're second teamers in there. The kids from Valley West, though, are seeing kids coming at them at 100%. It's not practice, and they're gaining valuable experience. And what I like is that they have good vision. They're cutting back and taking the holes that are being presented.
Play action. Zinsevich completes it downfield for about 16 yards. That's a figure law first down to Suda. So the senior pulls it in, and they're inside the Allied Services red zone.
A little bootleg action there. Comes out. I thought, again, oh, he's going to delay. But no, nice job. Good call. They did a flood on that one. 3 receivers.
There you saw Turpak on the play. He was injured. Glad to see him back. Toss has been successful so far tonight, and it is this time. It's about 4 yards as we are under 5 minutes just in the third quarter here.
Another shot of that. Great job by our camera guys, our replay. Ernie back down there in the booth. You guys, it brings it right into your living room when these guys get these shots for us.
Last time Valley West beat this Dallas team was 2016, 29-0. 5 straight losses. Flag comes in. It's going to be offsides against Dallas.
We got encroachment on the defense. Replay second down. Replay.
So, you know, Coach Manello will be watching this on film Monday. Well, tomorrow. Maybe tonight.
He usually gives himself a 2-hour reprieve.
Okay.
So technically it will be tomorrow when it's midnight.
Okay. Backsides and Savage under pressure. He's taken down. Big loss put on. Mike Lewis, the sophomore, comes in for the big sack.
Number 21, Mike Lewis, and number 56.
Boy, they had 2nd and 2. Now they're back to 3rd and 13. Not the way Coach Bransky wants his offense operating.
Oh, you just saw him coming off his side right at him.
And when that usually occurs, that means the tackle probably stepped down inside instead of looking out and punching to his right. Because again, you're in a tough situation when a quarterback's rolling. You want to step play side.
They give it to Riggs, and he's going nowhere. He is popped in there and pushed back. Looked by Lewis again. Looked like 21.
Let's see that in there. They get the double team to push the tackle, number 69 down, or 59, Colby Kleintop, down, the 243-pound senior. But those linebackers fill so fast and so hard, there's nowhere for them to run.
So the Spartans will get the play from the sidelines on 4th down. Call it 13. Wind doesn't look as bad as it has, Coach. Valley West will call timeout with 2:10 left.
No, it is. It's still right now.
Still pretty chilly. Well, join us, Amanda and I, every Tuesday night during our 10 o'clock news for the Friday Night Rivals Top 10. Coach and I put it together, and I think we might have some changes this week. Southern Columbia, for the first time in a long time, might not be in a top 10 in the area. They're losing for the second time big to Danville, so they're going to have a loss. And we're thinking about putting Scranton in. I mean, they're beating North Pocono. They're 5-0.
You can't argue with that. A 5-0 team versus a 3-2. Yes, Southern Columbia has everyone's respect, but this just shows that they're human. I mean, you know, to have 2 losses in 1 year in Southern Columbia, it's like, for them, it's devastating. For the rest of the league, everyone's like, yeah, well, welcome back to reality.
Reality, yeah. Yeah, so Southern is losing to number 2 Danville. Jersey Shore is putting a beating on undefeated Mifflinburg. Hazelton's winning. I didn't get a Mount Carmel score and or Loyal Sox. We'll check on that. Canton, again, another Class A team looking to get to the finals again. And Crestwood, again, just continues to win. And we'll see a bunch of those teams coming up in the next few weeks. And Sevich on 4th down, gonna just air it out for his big guy, and can't pull it in. Makai Wells, the 6'6" junior. Pass wasn't really in the spot he could catch it, though.
Nice. The ball was there. Again, be an athlete, jump for that ball. And he had a hard time because number 19 had good coverage inside, leverage on him.
So on the 4th down, Dallas takes over on downs.
Bob, you mentioned Mount Carmel. They're handily beating Bloomsburg right now, 41-7 in the 4th quarter. So our top 10, those teams, we spoke about that last week, how tough they are and why they're so good.
We will see Mount Carmel, Southern Columbia 3 weeks from now in October. We'll see Hazelton Crestwood in a couple weeks, and next week we're back to the pizza capital of the world. Sabaticki's still in. Geske bobbled that. Takes a big hit, comes out. No whistle. And it looks like Valley West has it. I didn't hear a whistle, and the signal is?
Geske, the ball carrier.
We're going to talk about it.
By number 45, Logan Dwyer.
My eye thought he was down.
I thought he was too, but
and Suda not happy.
Yeah, you can see the frustration.
It's going to remain 2nd down. Geske bobbled it from the beginning.
But what I liked was number 58, Dan Sobolski, right here, coming into your screen, takes on that lead block, blows it up, allows Geske to get in there. Let's see. His hip was, that's
hip, yeah.
Judgment call. I mean, his hip was down, the ball was coming out, so. But that was a good heads-up play by the Valley West player.
We haven't seen much of Parker Balesta here in the 2nd half. It's been this sophomore Geske getting a lot of the carries, and with the game on the horizon, like Hazelton, you want Balesta rested.
He's not taking his reps on defense either, so I would hope that's what the situation is. Let's see again, that quick toss play coming in. Yeah, he's just taking players on, trying to show coach and the rest of the Dallas community how tough of a runner he is.
Yep, that one's coming back though. We had a hold on the play for Dallas.
5-yard penalty will make it 2nd and 8.
Wasn't a hold, I missed the call. It's a 5-yard penalty, so it brings up 2nd down. Geske left side this time. It's a figure law 1st down. He took out Riggs, and Riggs is still down. Helbig comes off, and hopefully, he's okay. He looks really hurt. We've seen a lot of players injured tonight.
I've seen a lot of clean hits. These guys are laying the wood in here. So let's see what happens. Boom, he comes right in. He came in, I bet he's got his stinger on that one. His right shoulder, he came in clean. He just went in there, and when that happens, like your side goes numb, your arm goes numb. Not a very good feeling. So hopefully he's okay.
We continue rolling with the District 2 standings. As of today, midway through this season, Coach, and boy, another, I think, tough one. But, you know, Western Wayne and Prep, probably the favorites there.
And Prep's winning right now, 20-13 against Del Val. Carbondale, oh good, he's up.
Yeah, Riggs is up, but you saw 3A. Western Wayne playing very well.
They really are. Coach Wolf does a tremendous job with those guys up there. And Janishevsky.
Yeah, yes.
That family, great running backs, and Luke is there now. He's making his way, trying to show how good he can be, just like his brother was.
So after the first down,
Mike Lewis on the carry.
Yeah, Lewis gets the carry on that. I saw it too, but I didn't think it was Balesta. So we're under a minute now. Slow-moving third quarter. A bunch of injuries in there and some scores.
Oh, I love this angle. This is like on NFL. If we had the telestrator in there, we could put the yellow lines, who's got who. Great job in there. You see how the fullback kicked out the linebacker on that and allowed Lewis to get in there for a couple yards.
Toss to Lewis. Lewis puts his head down, and he'll be up for another figure law first down. And that should do it for the third quarter. They can run. They don't need to run a play again.
First and 10 for the Mounts from their own 44-yard line.
And credit to the offensive line from Dallas. Giving them running lanes for Geske, Lewis, and Barker Balesta. 3 in the book here in the back mountain. All Mountaineers tonight from Dallas. It's 38-7. We head to the fourth here on my TV.
Welcome back to Friday Night Rivals. Amanda Cool here with our favorite part of tonight's game. We get to meet the Scholar athletes. Let's meet them right now. From Wyoming Valley West, John McLaughlin. He's the captain of both the football and wrestling teams. He is first in his class, the class president, a member of National Honor Society, Junior Leadership Northeast, and he's also in the marching band and choir. We were able to see him on the field during halftime. He wants to major in business in college. And from Dallas, Kira Pomrink. She's a member of the soccer and lacrosse teams. She has a 4.0 GPA, a member of the National Honor Society and in the gifted programs. She's going to attend Stonehill College next fall to play soccer and major in political science. Bob Jan, another night with very impressive Scholar athletes.
Absolutely, and I think, isn't Parker Balesta going to Stonehill as well?
I believe he is. Amanda, you have a great job where you get to meet the top kids in each school fighting it out for that scholarship at the end of the year.
Back on the field, we had an incomplete pass. This is Lewis. No one's going to catch him. And is a Dallas touchdown, 56 yards. Well, we had Geske in a long one, Balesta, and now Lewis, the sophomore.
They just do a tremendous job sealing that outside, and he just cuts it up inside. You saw 59 coming up in there, looking for somebody to block. That was Colby Kleintop, looking for somebody to block. There was no one there, and it just was a nice 56-yard scamper into the end zone.
Credit to the offensive line tonight. Schultz, Fennel, Shearer, Sabulski, and Kleintop. Chobiak's kick is up and good. And we'll take a timeout. Last one for the end of the game. 45-7 your score. It's 24-7 the score at the half. Now it's 45-7. All number 6 tonight, our 6th ranked team in our FNR countdown. Going to remain undefeated. 5-0 Dallas will as they head to Hazleton. They'll take on the undefeated Cougars next week. Chobiak's kick by Suda takes it from his 8. And he brings it up about the 35.
Great effort by Suda to get an extra 5 yards by keeping those legs pumping and dragging some of the Dallas defenders down. Gives them much better field position. You'll see it right here. Watch this. He takes 1, 2, 3. Yeah, nice job. Great effort. And he's been really like the heart and soul right now since Cobb has gone down with his injury.
So we'll have a running clock now with the 38-point lead. And I believe we're going to have a new quarterback. Saw him warming up on the sidelines. Number 25 coach, Carson Brown.
What can you tell me about Carson?
6 foot, 170-pound sophomore.
know.
And he likes the word 25. Mattis, they've run that sweep pretty good tonight. This time is a figure law first down.
Well, Dallas is sitting in their 4-4. Their outside linebackers are getting sucked inside a little bit. Again, that's the experience that these young kids are getting, game time experience. They got to understand that their role, their responsibility is outside contained.
Valley West was as close as 21-7. Excuse me. Mattis again. He is a figure law first down inside Mountaineer territory. Excuse me. Valley West was 14-7 at one point. They had a little momentum going. Cobb scored that. But then, Dallas put another score on as we look at this, and ended the half with momentum with the field goal.
And we talk about momentum all the time, and we saw it today. How is Valley West going to respond? They came back and scored. How is Dallas? They came back and scored. And Bob, to reiterate what you said, they kicked that field goal before half, and I think that took the wind out of their sails. I like the way that this kid Mattis is running. That last play, it bounced it from the inside to the outside for another figure law first down for them.
Here's Mattis again. He picks up good yardage.
Tyler Mattis, the ball carrier again. Chased out of bounds by number 10.
Sometimes people would say, well, why don't you put your first teamers back in there? There's really no reason. The game's out of reach at this point. Next week, they have a huge game with Hazleton.
Yep.
They've got to make sure they've got their first stringers ready to go.
So another figure law first down for the Spartans. Start this drive at their own 34. Brown underneath the center. This is Riggs now.
Number 22, Paul Riggs, the ball carrier. Brought down by number 68, Jordan
Kovaleski, the senior, pulls him down, number 68. And again, the clock's going to continue to roll here.
Bob, we talked previously on our other broadcasts about how teams don't have JV teams and schedules because they're hard to fill. Teams don't have enough players. This is where these kids get this experience. Even though they're down, they're gaining valuable experience.
Quarterback Caper knocked out of bounds. Clock should continue to roll, and it does.
Carson Brown on the keeper. Brought down by number 29, Zach Williams. Number 26, Sam Kelly.
Well, Coach Baranski's going to have to check the injured list come tomorrow and even next week see what he has left, unfortunately. As we talked about in the beginning of this broadcast, if you were joining us, they lost 3 starters before the season, or before the season started, including their starting quarterback, Buss, who was coming back after a nice year last year.
And they had a nice balance last year with the running back, Cobb, and their passing attack last year. Coach Baranski really was high on what they were going to be able to do this year. And when you go into your first game and you already lost 3 guys, starters, that makes it very difficult.
Good running by Riggs. He picks up another figure law first down. He's inside the Allied Services red zone. Late in this one. Under 7 to play with a rolling clock.
These sophomores, I'll tell you, these running backs that the Spartans are showing right now, there's a lot of potential, and the future is going to be bright for them.
If the offensive line can get things together, I think you could say that for any team, right?
You could, but and we say this week in and week out that offensive line has to dictate how the offense is going to run. If they can handle it and they can hold their water on the line of scrimmage, they're going to be successful.
I just want our viewers to understand what you're saying. That's all when you say worder.
Hey, I'm a Flatlander from what I've been told.
So Mattis back in to dot the I. Baskis, another sophomore, he'll Be the up back right behind the quarterback. And they give it to Mattis. Little stiff arm. Up to the 6. First and goal for the Spartans.
Again,
in this one.
Mekhi Wells does a great job with his stalk block on the right-hand side. He'll see him come into his screen. You see the shadows right there. Right in there. Great body position, good hand position to stop number 22 from forcing him outside.
Chase Brunges, sophomore, pulls him down. Riggs trying, not getting about a yard short. Yep, just inside the 1 for Riggs, and second and goal now for Wyoming Valley West.
Just another toss play. Look, you got number 50 and number 2 leading the way for you. Elliot Thomas, the junior, 6'2", 290 pounds. He's a force to be reckoned with. And then you throw the Jake Dubascus in there, another sophomore lead blocking. You know, they're doing some good things right now. So coach is going to feel good about his young kids, not good about how the outcome of tonight's game went. But he's going to be more concerned about his injuries of his players.
Riggs carries in Wyoming Valley West touchdown. 4:35 left in the game. So a nice little drive. Started at their own 34, march it down the field.
Just go with it, outside zone right there. Walk-in touchdown for them because there's no one there. There's not really a sense of urgency on either side right now because the game is it's done. They've just got to run this clock out.
Cardona. PAT is up and good. So the 9-play, 66-yard drive goes in for a Valley West touchdown. And a cold Amanda Cool is downstairs and getting ready for another smile cam on the Dallas sidelines.
That's right, Bob. I'm trying to stay warm down here with the Dallas band. Our second and final Dr. Todd Smile Cam of the night is brought to you by Adriana and her bandmates here at the Dallas Mountaineers. Can you tell me, what is your halftime show like this year?
Our halftime show is the music of Bach, but it's composed a little differently, so it sounds kind of creepy and cool. So the music is a little bit harder than we've had in the past, but I think it's really good for our band to keep advancing and getting better in the future.
Awesome, and you guys sound great tonight. Let's hear it for you guys right now.
Maybe we should call the Dr. Todd Smile on Bandcamp.
Well, now we have the musicians. Now we just get the rest of the fans involved. That would be awesome.
Well, you got to move. You got to dance a little bit.
But creepy and cool. I don't know how Bach would feel about it.
Every time I hear that, I think of a MASH thing from MASH.
Oh, yes. Bach.
Bach. We're showing our age, Coach.
Yes.
Bach. Radar O'Reilly. Classic show celebrating 50 years this year.
I saw that. There was a picture of Alan Alda and Mike Farrell. What a great show. It was very, very well written.
You know, the best part is my son watches it with me. He laughs.
Oh, good.
So, he's 16, and I know that's great. I think that's great. I mean, some of those nostalgic shows, young people think they're stupid.
Yeah, usually.
It's an old man show.
Yeah, dumb dad jokes. Yeah,
dad jokes.
But, as dads, we have great jokes. They just don't appreciate it yet.
That's absolutely right. I don't know what they're talking about. People are home, and I'm like, yes. Okay, back out we go. We're under... Clock is going to roll. New quarterback in.
New fullback, new tailback. That's great to see these young kids getting a chance.
So it looks like the quarterback is number 16, Coach. Jaskevich. He's a freshman. Travis, first name.
And Anthony Vital was in there. I don't see at 35. I don't see on there.
Fullbacks, Nico Wilk, another freshman. So one thing we talked about, and I think we talked about it a few weeks ago, is the lack of freshman football in Lackawanna League and the Wyoming Valley Conference. So you see some freshmen playing tonight in the varsity. I'm not sure if Dallas has a freshman team or a junior high team, or they combine it.
I'm not sure how Coach has it. I believe there is a junior high team, and the ninth graders have a choice either to stay down or come up. So obviously he's brought some of his freshmen up. I don't know if Sam Kelly is related to Lenny Kelly, that from a few years ago. Yeah. That was, Mr. Touchdown for Dallas.
Yeah, Lenny, Mr. Touchdown. Figueroa first down for Sam Kelly, who just mentioned, the freshman. But for some freshmen, they only get to practice, so to get in a varsity game is huge.
And on the
I think they're playing JV too. Don't get me. They're probably playing JV football.
I would imagine with the amount of kids that Coach Manel has on the sideline, yes, they are playing a JV schedule. But Bob, you just mentioned it, that I'm a freshman. I get to play on Friday night. Are you kidding me? This is awesome. This is great. So kids are just going to go out there and show what they can do.
I didn't see who from Valley West made the tackle, so we'll try to make sure we get some Spartans called as well. Backups in for the most part tonight on both sides. Under 2 to play. Kelly again. 28, Coach.
Number 12 for the Spartans on the stop. Number 5.
Madden Sandley, 28, I think made the stop. You see it again.
Yep,
28. Yep.
And 99. Great job. Again, these young guys, even for Valley West, they want to get out there and show what their coach they can do. Wow, 79 just came in for the Spartans. He's a stout young man. Jacoby Grant, 295 pounds, 5'10", defensive tackle.
If Palesta stayed in the game all night, he may have had over 250 yards. But obviously, coach's choice, we hope, we're not sure, but sure coach's choice to leave him on the sidelines for the second half.
No reason. You have a great player like that. You know what he can do. He did his work for the team. So it's not like he's getting preferential treatment. It's just a matter of being smart about playing your players.
One more play to come. Tell you, Wilkes-Barre beating Berwick tonight, 35-14. Would be a bit of a surprise there.
Congratulations to Coach Stinty for pulling that one off. That's huge for their program.
Well, Trail and Eau Forge both coming in with losses till next week. I believe Trail lost last week, too, to Honesdale. So that'll be 2 losses in a row for them. Here in the Back Mountain, Dallas moves to 5-0 on the year. Valley West drops to 0-5, and our number 6 team is victorious here on Friday Night Rivals. The final score, 45-14. Both teams will congratulate. Hopefully all the injured players are back for next week. Coach, wrap this one up as we wait for Amanda. Pretty much what we expected from Dallas, but a little bit later, I think, than we expected.
A slower start. They once they started, though, they're tough to stop. And we saw how well-rounded they were trying to be offensively. Defensively, they played sound. I'm not sure if Coach Manella will be happy with the way his special teams coverage was. There's still some holes in there. They've got to shore that up against some of these teams, especially this week coming up against Hazleton.
Well, Dallas definitely the favorite now in 4A, even if they lose next week to 6A Hazleton. After that, the schedule opens up pretty well. Let's go down to Amanda now with our players of the game.
That's right. Joining me now are Parker Balesta and Lucas Schultz. Guys, congratulations on being our players of the game. Take me through that game. You have to be extremely proud of how your teammates played.
Yeah, I mean, we won it up front with guys like Luke. Dominated up front, and that's what wins games.
What were your expectations coming into tonight?
We knew we had to come in here, pound the ball, and get our guys out so we could rest up for Hazleton next week.
Talking about Hazleton next week, what does your week of preparations look like? I know it's going to be a really big one.
We'll be in Sunday on film, and we'll be lifting. We'll be back into the grind. Tunnel vision on that week. Whatever it is. Hey, what is it, 6? 6, yeah.
What can you take from tonight's win to go against next week?
A lot of good came out of tonight's win. We got guys making plays all over the field. Our wideouts starting to finally show themselves, so that'll be good for next week.
Thanks, guys. Good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks. All right, guys, you heard it from them. They have Hazleton next week.
And they get to take home another trophy. I think they can add that to a couple of the other ones they have at the school from Friday Night Rivals. So, as you heard, Dallas, Hazleton next week, Berwick Valley West, and we'll be at Old Forge next Friday already, September 30th, week number 6. And that should be a doozy. Both teams coming in off a loss, and they want to get back into the winning groove as they head towards the end of the season. And hopefully all the injured players we saw tonight, Coach, are back for next week, or at least better than we expected them to see.
I saw Isaiah Cobb smiling coming through with the handshake, so that's good. He wasn't smiling because he's happy they lost. He's just happy that he's able to still maintain and help his team, and we'll find out what his prognosis is during the week.
Okay, that's going to wrap things up. Remember, Tuesday at 10, we'll have our next Friday Night Rivals Top 10 Countdown on the Fox 56 News, first at 10. For the entire crew, the great job by our camera people out there tonight, including Coy Wilson and Mike Bosta upstairs. I don't know how they do it in the wind, but I told them after successfully going through Valley View last year, when it was windy and rainy, they can handle anything.
Absolutely. They are seasoned veterans.
They are seasoned veterans. Good job by our crew in the truck as well. For Amanda, Jan, this is Bob Hyde saying so long from the back mountain. Dallas wins it easily, 45-14.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals, presented by Tom Hesser Dealerships on MyTV WQMY.